Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to get up close and personal with the red panda.
Oh, awesome.
A creature that's definitely not your average panda.
Right.
You've probably seen,
Yeah.
there are adorable faces all over the internet, but
Of course.
trust me, there's a whole lot more to these guys than just cuteness.
Yeah, absolutely. We've
Got research articles, conservation reports, even some pop culture tidbits
It's gonna be fun.
to really paint a complete picture of this species.
Definitely, yeah.
So we're going to take you beyond the surface,
Okay.
exploring everything from their bamboo obsession to unique adaptations to the challenges they face in the wild. By the end of this, you'll be like
Yeah.
a red panda expert, able to impress all your friends with
Oh, yeah.
fascinating facts, ready to dive in.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So let's start by setting the scene.
Right.
These red pandas are found high in the mountains of the Eastern Himalayas in southwestern China. They live in these cool, moist forests
Okay.
where bamboo thrives.
Starting to see a connection there.
Yeah.
But one thing that really caught my eye was this idea
What's that?
of the red panda being a living fossil.
Ah, yes.
What makes them so special in evolutionary terms?
Well, their lineage goes
Yeah.
back millions of years.
Yeah.
But unlike many ancient species, they don't have any close living relatives today.
Oh,
It's like they're a window into the past,
wow.
offering a glimpse at a time when their family tree was much more diverse.
So they're kind of unique.
Very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can't ignore the obvious.
What's that?
These creatures are undeniably cute.
Oh, they are.
Our sources are full of descriptions of their reddish-brown fur,
Yes.
the white markings on their ears,
Huh?
their face, and of course, that iconic ring tail.
It's a good look.
It is a good look, but what's the purpose of that tail? Is it just for show?
It's definitely stylish,
Uh-huh.
but it's also incredibly functional.
Okay.
So that bushy tail acts as a counterbalance,
I see.
helping them navigate those high branches
Mm.
with amazing agility.
Wow.
And then, plus it serves as a
Yeah.
cozy wrap on cold nights, providing that extra warmth.
So it's multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose, exactly.
I'm a little jealous of that built-in blanket, I have to say.
Ah,
But speaking of staying warm,
yeah,
their thick fur must also play a role in that.
absolutely.
Right.
So that dense fur is key for insulation
Okay.
in their chilly mountain habitat.
Mm.
And it even extends to the soles of their feet,
Oh, wow.
acting like built-in snowshoes for grip on slippery surfaces.
Okay.
Yeah, it's incredible how well adapted they are.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're expert climbers.
They are.
I've got the stylish A&D practical fur down.
Yep.
But what about their social lives?
Yeah.
Are they party animals or more the solitary type?
Well, red pandas are generally solitary creatures
Okay.
that prefer to
Yeah.
keep to themselves,
Mm-hmm.
except during mating season or when raising cubs.
Okay.
And they're very territorial.
Okay.
And they use scent marking to communicate with
Interesting.
each other.
So it's all about the scent signals.
Scent signals, yeah.
In those dense forests.
Right.
It makes sense considering they live high up in the trees.
It'd be
They have
like-
limited resources.
Yeah,
So being solitary helps them avoid competition.
absolutely.
Right.
It's like they each have their own little treetop apartment,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
complete with a unique scent signature to mark their territory.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about their diet.
Right.
You mentioned a bamboo obsession earlier.
I did.
Just how much bamboo are we talking about here?
Well, it's not just a preference.
Yeah.
It's practically their whole world.
Wow.
Bamboo makes up the vast majority of their diet, which is fascinating considering their digestive system.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. They are kind of like,
Notice?
evolutionary rebels in a way,
I like that. Right.
defying their own biology, because
Tell me more.
it's my understanding that they have a digestive system
Right.
that would be more suited to a carnivore.
It is.
But they've evolved to really thrive on this
They have.
tough, fibrous plant.
Exactly.
So what are the challenges of this bamboo-heavy lifestyle?
Wait, because bamboo isn't the easiest thing to digest.
Right.
They have to eat a lot of it,
Wow.
up to 20 to 30%
Okay.
of their body weight every single day.
It seems like they're constantly eating then.
They are. They are.
Wow.
The digestive system isn't very efficient
Okay.
at breaking down cellulose,
Mm-hmm.
the main component of bamboo.
Yeah.
So they're constantly munching
Right.
just to extract enough nutrients.
It's like trying to survive on nothing but salad all day, every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It highlights how specialized they've become.
Yeah, very specialized. But unfortunately, this specialization also makes them vulnerable.
It does.
And that brings us to a more serious topic.
Okay.
The red panda's endangered status.
Right, right.
The IUCN Red List.
Yeah.
A global authority on the conservation status of species.
Mm-hmm.
Classifies them as endangered.
They do.
With fewer than 10,000 individuals estimated to be left in the wild.
It's concerning.
It is a concerning number.
Uh-huh.
It's like a wake-up call.
It is.
That these amazing creatures are facing an uphill battle for survival.
They are.
So what are the main factors contributing to their decline? What exactly are they up against?
We'll delve into those threats in detail in just a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So before we were talking about the IUCN Red List.
Right.
And how it classifies red pandas as endangered.
Yeah, really
and
sobering thought.
It is, but what
are main factors contributing to their decline?
Yeah, what are they up against?
Yeah, what are they up against?
Unfortunately, a lot of the threats stem from human activities.
Okay.
Habitat loss is a major issue with forests being cleared for timber, agriculture, and development.
At an alarming rate.
Yeah, a big problem.
So as those lush forests shrink, how does that directly impact the red pandas?
Imagine their forest home being chopped up into smaller and smaller patches, separated by roads, farmland, and settlements.
Right.
That's what we call habitat fragmentation.
Yeah.
And it creates isolated populations
I see.
that struggle to find mates and maintain genetic diversity.
And that's...
which is crucial for their long-term survival.
Right, yeah.
Yes,
it's like they're being squeezed into these shrinking pockets of forest with limited resources. And less opportunity to connect with other red pandas.
Yeah, it makes it much harder.
So that's one major issue.
Uh-huh.
But on top of that,
right,
they're also facing poaching.
Sadly, yes.
What drives people to poach these animals?
Well, their beautiful fur is highly valued.
Oh, okay.
In some cultures.
Yeah.
And it's used for clothing and accessories.
Ah, okay.
And then in some regions, their body parts are believed to have medicinal properties.
Okay.
Even though there's no scientific evidence to support that.
So it's all, you know, superstition.
Exactly, superstition.
But yeah, it's heartbreaking that something as beautiful as their fur could lead to their demise.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So aside from habitat loss and poaching, what other challenges?
Well, believe it or not, competition with domestic livestock is a growing problem.
How so?
So as humans encroach further into their territory, they bring their animals with them. Goats, sheep, cattle.
Right.
And those animals graze on the same bamboo that red pandas depend on.
So it's like adding insult to injury.
It is.
They're losing their homes.
Right.
They're being hunted for their fur.
Yeah.
And now they have to compete for their main food source.
Exactly.
It paints a pretty bleak picture.
Yeah.
But is there any hope for the future?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so there are many dedicated organizations and individuals
So it's good.
working tirelessly on red panda conservation.
Okay.
And their efforts include protecting and restoring habitat, combating poaching, and working with local communities to promote sustainable practices.
That's encouraging to hear.
Yeah.
It sounds like a multifaceted approach is needed.
It is.
Addressing all those threats we've talked about.
Yes, it is.
But speaking of local communities, you mentioned earlier that red pandas have a special cultural significance in some of the regions where they live.
Right.
Can you elaborate on that?
So, in many Himalayan communities, red pandas are seen as symbols of good luck, prosperity, even spiritual guardians.
Oh, wow.
They're woven into folklore and traditions.
I see.
Which is really important for conservation efforts.
Okay.
Because when people have a cultural connection to a species,
Right.
they're more likely to be invested
Yeah.
in its protection.
So it's like they're not just an animal
Right.
in those communities.
Yeah.
They're part of the cultural fabric.
Exactly.
Yeah. And speaking of connections, it's hard to ignore the recent surge in red panda popularity in pop culture.
Absolutely.
They've captured the hearts of people worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah.
From animated films like Disney's Turning Red.
Oh, yeah, good one.
To video games and countless adorable memes.
So many memes.
Yeah. That has to be a good thing. Well,
raising awareness, right?
it can be a powerful tool.
Yeah.
But
That's the but.
it's important to use that momentum wisely.
I see.
We need to make sure that this pop culture fascination translates into real action and a deep understanding of the threats these animals face.
So it's about balancing the cuteness factor.
It is, yeah.
With a serious message about conservation.
It is, finding that balance.
Now, before we move on to discussing what we can do to help, I'm curious to learn a little bit more about their reproductive cycle. Our sources mention that they have a rather long gestation period.
They do.
For their size.
Yes, that's right.
So how long are we talking about?
So red pandas have a gestation period of about 4 months. Which is quite long considering they're not much bigger than a house cat.
That's fascinating.
It is.
And what about their cubs?
Oh, are they born ready to climb trees and much on bamboo?
Not quite. Red panda cubs are born blind.
Oh, wow.
And completely helpless, relying entirely on their mothers for warmth, nourishment, and protection. It takes them a while to develop those iconic climbing skills and bamboo eating habits.
Aw, that's adorable.
They are cute.
I can just picture those tiny cubs snuggled up with their mothers.
It's a sweet sight.
But this also highlights the importance of protecting not just individual red pandas, but their breeding grounds and the overall health of their forest homes.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. So that brings us to a really important question.
What's that?
What can we do as individuals and as a global community to ensure the survival of these remarkable creatures?
The big question.
It is a big question.
But a very important one.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Exploring the fascinating world of red pandas, from their unique adaptations to the very real threats they face. But now let's shift gears a bit and talk about what we can do to make a difference.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of these conservation challenges. But the good news is there are many things we can do. Both individually and collectively.
Let's start with individual actions. What can each of us do in our daily lives to help?
One of the most powerful things you can do is simply learn more about red pandas and spread awareness.
So it's about getting the word out.
It is.
Sharing their story.
Sharing their story,
With our friends.
With your friends, family, online. The more people who know and care about these creatures, the more likely we are to see positive change.
So knowledge is kind of the first step.
It is.
What are some concrete actions that we can take?
Well, supporting conservation organizations that are working directly with red pandas is a great way to make a tangible impact.
So these are organizations that are dedicated to...
Yes, dedicated to protecting their habitat, combating poaching, working with local communities. Yeah, even a small donation can go a long way.
Putting our money where our mouth is.
Yeah, exactly.
What else can we do as consumers?
Being mindful of the products we buy. Especially when it comes to wood and paper. Look for sustainably sourced options that support responsible forestry practices.
And that's because?
Deforestation is a major threat to red pandas.
Right.
So choosing products that minimize our impact on forests is really crucial.
It's about using our purchasing power to support companies that align with our values.
Absolutely.
And what about tourism?
Yes.
If we're traveling to regions where red pandas live.
Yeah, it's important to research tour operators and accommodations that prioritize sustainability and respect for wildlife. Choose eco-friendly options.
So being conscious travelers.
Conscious travelers, yeah.
And are there any other?
You can also contact your elected officials. And advocate for stronger environmental policies. And increased funding for conservation efforts.
So using our voices to advocate for change.
Advocate for change, exactly.
Those are all great individual actions.
They are.
But what about
what needs to change on a broader, more systemic level? What needs to happen to ensure the long-term survival of red pandas? Well, we need to address the root causes of habitat loss and fragmentation.